Texel, a Dutch island filled with the wonders of the Netherlands. This island is located in the middle of the Wadden and North Sea and completely surrounded by water. It is housing a population of over 13,000 residents and welcomes over a million visitors yearly. But how are they protecting these people from the surrounding waters? The answer is in the flood defense mechanisms, like the dunes, the dikes, sand depletion, and any form of coastal protection. Texel is quite famous for its large sand dunes and large dikes. When strolling the coast of the island, they appear as far as you can see. But what do people think of these flood defense measures? While the island is known for their dunes and dikes, the public perception of these defense mechanisms is widely unknown in regard to how these mechanisms are valued. We were curious as to how the public perceives the flood mechanisms and how the perception of residents differs from the perception of tourists. That's why we came up with the following research question. How do tourists and residents perceive the value of conventional and natural-based flood defense structures on the island of Texel for both people and nature? In general, we believe that there are differences between the residents and the tourists in perception of the flood measures, and that certain measures will be valued higher than others. We also expect a significant correlation between the level of awareness and the opinions of the participants. While this could very well be put into a survey and shared through the internet, we wanted to see firsthand what people thought while on the island. This is why we created our survey and set off the journey towards the island. To gather our results, we combined two forms of data collection. We created an online survey pertaining of closed questions for people to fill in, and we arranged an interview with an expert containing of semi-open questions. First, we visited Den Burg. In Den Burg, we encountered tourists and residents alike. After surveying for a few hours, we gathered quite a few results. Many tourists were available to fill out our forms, and few residents were also willing to share their opinions. Over the next few days we traveled the island, surveying the Koog, Oudeschild, and the beach near the Koog. In the end we obtained a total of 54 surveys. These mainly consisted of Dutch and German tourists. Experts from a local organization called NIOS also filled in our survey. While at NIOS we succeeded in getting 6 surveys by the employees of NIOS. Alongside our surveys, we also conducted an interview with an expert, Martin Baptist. He is both a resident of Texel and a specialist in flood defense measures. We did a sit-down interview with him and got some interesting insights as to how experts view the flood defense measures.
All 56 surveys gathered were put into a shared data sheet to analyze. We obtained the following results through statistical analysis. Our main research question was divided into 7 sub-questions and we processed them through statistical analysis. We researched whether there was a difference in opinion between local tourists, international tourists, and residents for different aspects of flood defenses, which are effectiveness, cost-effectiveness, recreational value, and benefits for its nature. We asked them to rank them from 1 through 5, with 1 being the best and 5 being the worst. In these answers, we found no significant differences between groups of people. They did agree that natural-based flood defenses were better for recreational value, as you can see here, and have more benefits for nature than conventional defenses shown now. Effectiveness did not have this clear difference, and neither did cost effectiveness. The question, is there a difference between local tourists, international tourists, and residents on the level of awareness of climate change effects on Texel, also yielded no significant differences between the different groups. For this research question, we noticed flood defenses tended to have a small negative correlation with the ratings people gave, but none of these correlations were statistically significant. So what did we prove? We did have one correlation which was significant, and that was the correlation between the level of awareness on climate change effects on Texel and the opinions on the need for flood defenses on Texel. We expected a correlation, and our analysis proved a correlation of 0.341 with a p-value of 0.0100. That means that people who were more aware of climate change thought that flood defenses on Texel were more necessary. Through the sub-questions, we reached the conclusion, perhaps in further research with a larger sample size, other result might show up. We conclude that there was no difference in the perceived values of flood defenses between tourists and locals, but people that are more aware of the climate change effects on Texel see a greater need for flood defenses. Luckily, the expert says that for the next 100 years, we don't need to worry and can enjoy the beauty of Texel.